Hey, and welcome to my channel about living in and moving to Denver, Colorado. I just did a video about the expense and what it costs to actually live in kind of the Denver metro area. So I thought it would be super fun to dive into the most expensive places that you can live in the Denver metro. Let's get started. Hey, I'm Katie Martineau, also known as the Real Estate Gal. If this is your first time tuning into this channel, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a video, which is twice a week. As mentioned, my nickname is Katie the Real Estate Gal. I am a licensed real estate agent in this state. So if you need help with buying, selling, or anything in between, if you have any type of questions about neighborhoods, restaurants, things to do around town, I'm your gal, would love to help you. So here is my contact information. Please reach out, call, text, or email, whichever is best for you. Now let's get into those 4 most expensive places to live in the Denver metro. First is Wash Park. I thought the Wash Park would be a lot higher on the list, if you will. So of the 4, Wash Park is the lowest. So one of the main reasons to move to Wash Park, or why people live in Wash Park, is actually Washington Park. It is an absolutely gorgeous park. There are 2 gardens, 2 lakes. You can rent paddle boards and boats. There are tons of trails for rollerblading, biking. In the summer, it is poppin' with volleyball. The Rockies hosts their volleyball season there. You will drive by and see hundreds and hundreds of volleyball nets. There's a really cool nonprofit called Light the Night that hosts an event every year, and it is for leukemia and lymphoma cancer awareness. And so people walk around with these little light up balloons, whether they're a survivor, a volunteer, or they have somebody that was affected. And there's all other sorts of festivals and whatnot. But the park is huge. It's 133 acres, miles and miles of pathway, and it is arguably the best park that you can find in Denver. Another main draw for Wash Park is Gaylord Street. It's a small little strip that is locally owned shops and restaurants. There are a couple bars that are really great for watching sports, such as Reavers and Wash Park Grill. There is a really great Devil's Food. It's a little bakery as well as a coffee shop, and they have a breakfast and brunch restaurant as well. So they'll close down South Gaylord Street for farmers markets and little festivals throughout the year, and it is super walkable, as is all of Wash Park. And I just found out it's called Washington Park because the park is designed as a replica of George Washington's garden at Mount Vernon. So fun fact. All of the statistics that I'm going to be sharing with you today are from the MLS for the past 2 years. So it does include some active listings as recently sold listings or within 2 years. So if you find other information elsewhere, that's probably why. The statistics might be from different times. So the average price point for Wash Park homes are $1.57 million. The median price is $1.33 million, with a maximum, and there is one home that was listed for $6 million. It sold for $5.4 million. The houses are pretty close together. There's not a ton of yard space. There are a few if you really look into some of the different pockets, but the average square footage is going to be 2,044 square feet, and the price per square foot is going to be an average of $532. Now, the location of Wash Park, the vicinity to I-25, is perfect. So if you are working anywhere down south, Denver Tech Center, Castle Rock, or if you want to be kind of near the highway, I-25, Wash Park is a really great place to check out. If you go from downtown Denver, it is a little bit southeast, but it is north of I-25. But if anything, if you are visiting or looking for something to do if you're already in Colorado, Wash Park is definitely the poppin' place to go. Moving the countdown on to number 3 is Cherry Creek. I would say Cherry Creek is luxury, fancy, clean. You are definitely going to be going to Cherry Creek at some point if you're living in the Denver metro because of all of the shopping that is there. There's the Cherry Creek Mall, and there's a lot of boutiques and outdoor shopping as well. The restaurant scene is competitive with some other locations such as the Highlands or Rhino for quality of food and ambiance. Some notables there is Aviano Coffee is very trendy. The aesthetic there is really cool. It's high traffic because where Cherry Creek Mall is, it's a little bit densely populated, so people are walking about, whether they be shopping, going out to lunch, taking a walk from work. And speaking of work, if you work in Cherry Creek, I would recommend North Italia is a really great lunch spot. Hillstone does a phenomenal job. They are business professional friendly, and the quality of food is really great. They also have a little bit of a parking lot. That could be a little bit of a struggle if you live right downtown Cherry Creek, is because there isn't a ton of parking, but there are a lot of people. So there is some street parking if you can find it on off hours. There's a lot of garages that you can park in as well. And as you move out towards the homes, there is going to be street parking. Sometimes there are restrictions on what side of the street you can park on, or you might need a permit. And they do that so the homeowners have a place to park if they have guests over, or if they don't want to use their garage or whatever. The further you get from the shopping, the easier the parking will be. One other mentionable, which is one of my favorites, and if you watch my videos, you know that it's coming. Matsuhisa is one of the best sushi places, arguably, in the state of Colorado. There's also a couple other locations in Vail and Aspen. If I could describe Matsuhisa in one word, it would be class. It is a Nobu restaurant. They have top-notch service, really, really great quality fish. And you're not going to just find those normal sushi rolls. You're going to find a lot of sashimi dishes that incorporate some really fun flavors and different techniques. Again, going back 2 years for active inventory as well as sold, there were over 500 properties that were sold with an average price point of $1.579 million and a median of $1.212 million. The average square footage was 2,225 square feet, and an average price per square foot is $544. Now, why Cherry Creek is a little bit lower compared to if you're driving some of the streets that are kind of away from the mall area is because these numbers do encompass some condos and townhomes that are on the east side of the shopping center. There's all sorts of different styles back there. There are some streets that you kind of feel like you're in the opening scene of You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. It's kind of like a New York vibe where there's trees lining the streets and street lights. You have to go up the stairs for your front door. There are some that seem like they should be in a chalet in the mountains. So I feel that those condos and townhomes are bringing that price point down a little bit. But if we only looked at single family homes, the price would be a lot higher. The walkability for Cherry Creek is amazing. It's right next to Colorado Boulevard. If you do need to go grocery shopping, there's a huge kind of grocery center with a Target. There's a Lifetime gym, all sorts of different types of chain restaurants if you go out a little bit more towards Glendale. And then if you're wanting to get to downtown Denver, you are going to hop on Spear and ride that all the way. It's not very far from Denver either. It is, again, southeast. A lot of these areas are a little bit more southeast of Denver. And Cherry Creek is probably one of the best locations, in my opinion, for the 4 that we're talking about today. All right, on to number 2, we have Hilltop. So looking on a map, you're going to have Cherry Creek, Glendale, and then Hilltop is right on top of it. It borders Colorado Boulevard, and at the southwest corner, there is a historic park called Burns Park. You'll definitely notice it when you're driving by, and it was intended to be a pleasant relief from harsh urban environment. The sculptures there were created for the 1968 Denver Art Symposium, so you kind of know where you are once you see those sculptures. Hilltop is an exclusive residential neighborhood that's known for absolutely beautiful homes, excellent schools, and large lots. One of the features of Hilltop is Cranmer Park. Now, Cranmer Park also participates with Volleyball of the Rockies and will have volleyball nets up during the summer. I just drove by it the other day, and there's a ton of soccer nets that were up for sports teams. One of the iconic features of Cranmer Park is it has this giant sundial sculpture right at the top. There is a ton of new construction in Hilltop as well as luxury resale, and the different styles range from the 1930s Hollywood movie-esque 20th century magnificent Italian marble and arch ceiling style to the most modern style house that you can think of. That's super boxy, has sharp lines and edges, clean, crisp, open, minimalistic, kind of like a European style. And one of the homes listed currently right now for $8 million has a glass rail throughout the entire home. So almost has a museum-esque feel to it with sleek stone and beautifully, meticulously maintained backyards. That $8 million sale that I was just referring to has an indoor badminton court, which I've never seen before. The average square foot for Hilltop is 3,100 square feet with a $2.1 million average price point and the median price point is $1.7 million. So even though the average price point for these homes in Hilltop is higher, the price per square foot is a little bit lower at 470 square feet. The nice thing about Hilltop is that you're really close still to gyms, grocery stores, luxury shopping, designer, the Cherry Creek Mall, but you're probably not going to get as much traffic as you would if you were to live in the Cherry Creek area. All right, we hit number 4. One of the most expensive places in Denver Metro is Cherry Hills Village. Cherry Hills Village is south of I-25 and just north of Greenwood Village. It does cover more square miles than all the other 3 that we've been talking about, with an average lot size of 2 acres. So that definitely explains why this seems like more estates and that you would need a groundskeeper to help maintain the property. These properties are absolutely amazing, which makes sense because of the price point as well. They are magazine style homes, soaring ceilings, exposed beams. You can absolutely tell that some of the homeowners brought in designers. There's one home that I was looking at that the really loud leaf wallpaper complemented the bronze globes that were hanging from the ceiling as light fixtures. So it's those really interesting styles. It would totally be featured in one of those TV shows like Selling Sunset or $1 Million Listing. The average square foot for Cherry Hills Village is 5,542 square feet. The average price point is $3.95 million with a median price point of $3.54 million, and the price per square foot is $560 per square foot. Every single time I drive by homes like these or look at them online, I'm always in awe and just so enthralled. I hope that that feeling never leaves me. Homes are so fascinating because they can be so different, and it's really entertaining to see how people live and what makes them happy and fulfilled. Which leads me into, I just want to remind you, I am a real estate agent in the Denver metro area, so if you need help with buying, selling, or anything in between, I would absolutely be honored to help you. So please reach out with my contact information below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a video, which is twice a week. Now, last video I did promise that I was going to be doing a video on the least expensive places. Now I will be doing a video on the least expensive places since we were just living in luxury for this video. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.